Hello, I'm Kevin J.N. Hughes replying to Griffin. Griffin says that you can't see his whole comment, it cuts off. But Griffin says that neither Eastern Orthodoxy nor Roman Catholicism can prove to be older than the other. But this is simply untrue. Um, the reason why this actually misunderstands my argument because my argument isn't that Eastern Orthodoxy is older than Roman Catholicism, but rather that Roman Catholicism split off from Eastern Orthodoxy, which is historically demonstrable. So, for example, you should read the book. It's Father John Strickland's Age of Paradise. Read that book, because he does an excellent job of explaining what the early church was like. And he does an excellent job of explaining how the West developed a distinct identity. Another book you should read is The Apostasy That Wasn't, which is by a Roman Catholic scholar. But basically, and then you should also read what your own popes have to say. If you're Roman Catholic, which is the Pope Benedict, he said that Eastern Orthodoxy has the fullness of the faith and has even preserved older traditions. John Henry Newman, who is regarded by the popes as a doctor of the church, says that Eastern Orthodoxy confesses the faith from an older faith, but that the problem with Eastern Orthodoxy is we didn't have the quote-unquote necessary development. So he acknowledges that all of the things Rome has that's different from Orthodoxy were developments that Rome added, but he says that they were necessary developments. So my point is that actually even Roman Catholic theologians admit that Eastern Orthodoxy is the one that is holding fast to the tradition handed down to us from the apostles, and that things like clerical celibacy, the filioque, the papacy, all of these are accretions that were added later. So all of the things we disagree with were added later. So even Roman Catholic historians acknowledge that your argument is not true. Eastern Orthodoxy is in fact the church that the apostles, that Jesus Christ established, and that the apostles were the leaders of. Now, where Roman Catholics disagree with us is both Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy can be traced back to that apostolic church. Where Roman Catholics disagree with us is that they believe that tradition that was handed down from the apostles is something that can change, and that it's okay for that tradition to sort of develop over time. Eastern Orthodoxy does not see it that way. Eastern Orthodoxy sees tradition as something that we preserve. And that's the crux of the issue. So when I say that Roman Catholicism split off from us, first of all, I'm not saying that we're older than Roman Catholicism. We're essentially the same age because for the first 1,000 years we were the same church. But what I am saying is that their traditions have changed and we have stayed faithful to the apostolic testimony, which is, again, demonstrable. You can read the writings of the church fathers for yourself and see Orthodox theology. So I would encourage you to do that. Your argument is simply factually untrue. If you study church history, you cannot fail to see Eastern Orthodoxy. To be deep in, as John Henry Newman said, to be deep in history is to cease to be Protestant. The only thing I would add to that is that that's true of Papal Protestants as well. So God bless Griffin, as always praying for